Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Queen Exchange series. Queen Exchange series is a LinkedIn series where we exchange thoughts, ideas, and insights of experts across industries. And our topic today is very interesting. It's about discovering your life's purpose, unveiling the path to personal fulfillment. Now, I would really like to invite Vishal Bhardwaj, who's the expert columnist with the Times of India. I think my voice.
Hi Neha, I can hear you properly, and thank you so much for inviting me to the show. And I hope I will be able to give some insight about topics.
Great, Vishal. Thank you so much for being here. Can you just share a little bit about your journey, how your journey has been in terms of your life, your career, and where you are basically in terms of how you've discovered yourself and your life purpose?
Sure. So I remember myself during the student's life, school life, that I was a backbencher for sure. I was never used to sit at the front bench, and then somebody introduced me to the front bench, and when I sat on the front bench, I knew what I was missing, and from there the thing started. And I think that man, that person, and the teacher is very responsible whatever I am doing right now. And I have been doing a lot of adventures in my life in terms of even the professional life. I did my engineering, then I into electronics, then I did my job in as a data scientist in IT. Then I took my first entrepreneurial journey in spiritual journey. So it was with Predictions for Success. I founded Predictions for Success, which was into a lot of spiritual subjects. The aim was to re-engineer the spirituality, and now we are into different verticals, and I am loving the journey till now, Neha.
Wow, nice. Tell us a little bit more about your book. I would be really curious to know myself as well.
Sure. So we have been, I have seen a lot of misconceptions about the things, and there are a lot of things that are getting a little old in terms of the wisdom. But if you reframe that wisdom for the current generation, I think we can bring a lot of new thoughts, new principles, new ideologies into the life. And this is what Prediction for Success is for. We aim to re-engineer the complete spirituality for the current generation, so that the Vedas, the Upanishads, every religious thing which has been there into different religion, and we want to recreate it for the current ones.
Nice. That sounds very interesting. Now, the audience that Queen has, Queen basically is an online platform where women actually register and try to find uh, purpose in what they want to do in their personal and professional career. So, a lot of people reach out in terms of finding out what they're really passionate about or trying to find that purpose. So, since we are obviously talking about the topic, discovering your life purpose, what do you think that really means, and why is it important for anyone's personal fulfillment?
Existential growth is the most important factor in every psychology of a person. So if the person doesn't know why I am here, what is my purpose of life, why am I doing this, if this thing is not known, you are just running a race without any deadline or without any crossing line. So it is very important to know that for what you are running, until when you will be running, and for what you by the time that you cross the line, will you be able to enjoy the whole process? So this is the life purpose as per me, and I think it is very very important for every person to know what race they are running for.
So, how does one really discover this? I mean, do we just? I have read the book Ikigai, and I do use those tools and techniques on how to discover that purpose. But if I were to ask you in terms of practically on how to discover, what would be your thoughts?
So even if you talk about ikigai, so this is a very good help book. But if you try to find the how they did this, so what was their purpose behind it. So that is the whole crux of the things. And I think if you put it in a simpler way, it is more about knowing yourself. So when you have some time for yourself, usually people have time for everything. They have time for fun, they have time for movies, they have time for friends, but they never have a time for themselves. So if you don't have a time for yourself, you will never find yourself, and you will never find that journey and the aim and that race that I was talking about. So the first thing is to be able to get some time for yourself, and then books can help, even the guides can help. People like me who are into counseling sessions, so we people try to do our best, but for that you have to have a time for yourself. If you don't have a time for yourself, you are just fooling around, you are just reading the stuff, you are just going through a lot of content, but you are not getting what you want.
So, to find time for yourself, I guess it's as simple as I mean, just reading books or actually just meditating, or are there any other steps or strategies to figure out time with yourself?
It's a very good question, to be honest. Yeah. So see, when we say about let's find time about ourselves. So what we bifurcate is either we say that let's do gardening, let's do reading, or let's do meditation. So these are the three things that we think about when we think about getting a time for yourself. But it is not actually that. It could be even just lying around, watching the sea, watching the sun, watching the sky, just counting the stars, just trying to even count your own hairs. So it could be as simple as that, and it could be as complex as anything. For example, if you have time for, if you like gaming, you go to the gaming session sometimes. If you like making videos, dancing, anything, have a bubble bath, do something. I mean, like play tune, learn something new. It could be anything, but please don't restrict yourself on the what societal norm says about finding the time for yourself.
So in today's day and world, like we are always constantly on our phones or replying to emails, or constantly there's some calls happening, WhatsApp messages happening. So it's quite distracting while you are probably wanting to take that small break. So in that busy routine, how do you really distance yourself from all the distractions and focus on that time for yourself?
It happens step by step, to be honest, Neha. So you cannot say that in a single day I will be able to quit Instagram. It won't happen. And you
Yeah.
cannot say that I will not touch my mobile today. So maybe you will not touch today, but tomorrow again you will be in the same process. So for that, it has to come in a very gradual form, just as Pavlov's. So Pavlov's was a very cool psychologist who talked about classical conditioning. So it happens step by step. You cannot just make someone be attached or be attached to anything just in a fraction of second. So it has to come into the steps, and for those steps, take small step. For example, for today I will be using my mobile for this many things. For example, even that I will be using to watch videos. Don't watch pictures, don't watch quotes, only watch videos in that day. Next day you can find something else. So try to make that kind of a routine, rather than forcing yourself doing something. And then even the time that you save, for example, today I saved 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, try to do something else. Maybe go out, play with your street dogs, watch birds, pick up some soil and make something out of it, work on your gardens, do something, maybe help your mother, talk to the friends that you haven't talked to a lot in a lot while. So those things will give you the reward, and this is what purely classical conditioning is. When you get a reward for something, you want to do it again and again.
Let's say I like going out and probably playing in the garden all day. Like, for example, a child would say that. And is that really called discovering your self purpose then? Because playing all day will
Absolutely.
also end up becoming a problem in future where you are just doing that and not probably doing anything professionally to get yourself up and running.
So Neha, we need to recharge batteries. So you cannot always put the charger and the mobile, but yes, you need to recharge batteries, right? So even if you are doing this once a week, twice a week, even twice a month, so that is totally fine. But please do recharge your battery. So when you are picking up those soil, when you are picking up those weeds, what you are actually doing, you are thinking about the thoughts that has been into your subconscious mind, and when you work on those subconscious mind, you are targeting and you are triggering those events that may help you in your future. And that is what discovering yourself is: finding your strength, what you want, what you really want. Sometimes what we want is, for example, I want to meet that person, I love that person, I want to go on a date. uh, but in reality what you want is, I just want to spend some time with somebody who can understand me, right? So
Right.
why to go into a wrong relationship just because you wanted to have some good time with somebody? You could have done that with somebody else as a friend, or maybe even your mother, your father, anybody else. So sometimes this is what we do. We think that we want a company, and that company we try to put in a very different way. So when you know yourself, you know exactly what you want and what you need.
That's very interesting example. So I agree. Like sometimes you may think that you want something, but it's probably a broader idea of lacking something within yourself, discovery or self purpose, and probably that's why you are associating with the some person or some object. That could also be in a career, right? Like I could say I want to do XYZ or become a millionaire, but probably I don't know, it would be in a way that I want to possibly, for example, in Queen, help women get those advance in their careers, but not necessarily lead to making it a, like a big example out of it or a startup. But that's the journey that everybody, I guess, needs to go through to figure out on what purpose they need. Once you do that self reflection and introspection, what kind of journey they need to go through, or how does one really know that they've achieved that introspection and discovery for themselves?
So I think for myself, if I talk about Neha, so when I started to not blame anybody for anything that is wrong in my life, when I start to think that I am the only responsible person for my happiness, that was the moment I knew that yes, I know myself. Otherwise you are just fooling yourself. You are trying to give excuses to yourself. You are telling that no, you are not doing it because of that person. You are bad, you've done bad because of that person. You are giving revenge because of that reason. You are not happy because of that particular reason. So till the time these things keep going on, you are actually not knowing yourself. Because when you know yourself, you know that you are so pure, you are so honest, you are so full, and you are so done with yourself. You have everything within you. Nothing can affect you. So it is like the depth of the sea. So even the sun rays cannot reach there. So that is kind of a depth that you need in yourself, and you have that. You just need to dive a little.
Nice. That's very interesting. Are there any like common obstacles that people may face while exploring this journey or their life purpose?
It's a very good question again. So when you start exploring yourself, when you start knowing that everybody has a part, but they are not a part of you. So people start to maybe blame you, saying that you have become selfish. You now think of yourself. They sometimes may say that you have become a little heartless. You cannot think about my emotions or my things. But at the end they will understand that you are the person they want to be. So everybody, when they see a perfection of something, because they have not seen that kind of a perfection, they first try to reject it. So that is what how mind works. They tell you that no, this is not the version that we want from you, because they are habitual of seeing the version that has a lot of negatives, that has a lot of flaws. But when those flaws are not there in you, when you know that you are full, when you know that your vision is your vision, nothing has to do, nobody has to do with it, then they start realizing that that is what they want also.
So when you do come across these obstacles, how do you overcome them? Is there a way that you can follow to overcome these obstacles as well?
So, Neha, I have studied a lot of subjects on spirituality. For example, even numerology I studied. I even teach numerology now. So those subjects are actually to find those kind of obstacles, the remedies for those kind of obstacles. So they help you in finding what you really want, what is your strength, in an easy way, which may not take years. So, for example, to knowing what kind of personality you carry within yourself, in your subconscious mind, that is hidden to everybody else, you may take a lot of years. But through those subjects you may get a better clarity in a shorter period of time. So those kind of things help. And then there are people, spiritual leaders are there. Then there are even books, as Ikigai is one of those tools. So those things are actually a shortcut to finding those things. So you can go into the long way, finding it through hurdles, and finding it through roadblocks, and falling down, and then finding, making mistakes, then finding. But the easy way is by learning how other people has done by books or by these subjects.
Nice. So when you do align your life purpose, right? How can you also align it with your career also, or your aspirations in life, and how that can impact the society? Like, if there is any way you can also contribute to the society while you try to discover that purpose.
So Neha, I have seen, and this is, I think, the general truth, that you cannot just be aligned professionally. So if you are aligned and you have a purpose in life, so it goes both way. It goes the personal way, it goes the professional way. So in professional way, for example, as you asked, so in professional way, you might get to the right job, the job that you actually want to do, and because you are doing it not just for the money, not just for obligation, but for the fun, then you start doing absolutely incredible stuff, extraordinary things coming out of you, masterpieces start creating, and that is when you find the goal also, and you find the you can say the gold also. And for other people, when you have done that, you can be an inspiration for others, you can teach others, you can tell others, you can inspire others, you can say to them that I have done it, you can done too. And that is the most beautiful thing in this world, when you inspire somebody to do something that they really want to do, maybe taking a asking for the love they want, going for the job they love, traveling the place they want, eating what they really wanted to eat. So all those things are something that cannot, the money cannot buy, and only a person can inspire a person. So that is the beauty of humanity, right?
Totally. I think sharing your own learnings and with others, and helping them along the way, not expecting anything in return, is definitely something is much needed. And we are also caught up in our lives that we forget to do that on a personal level, on just society level, where we should be all working towards that goal as well. Definitely. Now, what would you do if you feel stuck? For example, I am trying to get into this self discovery journey, and I'm feeling a little lost or uncertain about how to discover it, or what am I even on the right path? Is there any way to figure that out?
I think the trick is not to hurry. So if when you are feeling stuck, so if you are having a blockage, you think that everything is black around you, just take a step, just relax, just give it a little time, stay there. This is all that you want, because with the time you will deep a little diver, a little deeper, and then you will find that light again. And if you want to know whether you are on the right path or not, just look at the people around you. Are you making them happy? Are you solving any purpose other than eating, drinking, or breathing? If you are solving any purpose in this life, I think you are on the right path. And I'm sure, Neha, you are absolutely on the right path. Queenie is on the right path. You guys are doing a fabulous job.
Thanks for those kind words. Adding more to that, right? Like, now that if I feel that, okay, this is what my life purpose is, how do I constantly stay motivated, stay connected to my purpose? Sometimes even, you lose the momentum, or sometimes you feel, is it even worth it? So how do you continue growing on that path? Either it can be personally or professionally.
So it's a secret, Neha. So what happens is, when I feel low, what I do is I talk to people that I have had, and I ask them how happy they are. And when they tell them me, how happy they are, not just because I help them, but in life how happy they are, this gives me so much pleasure, and then it inspires me so much. If I have done that, if I was able to do that something for them, let me do something for others. No. So if you ever feel like you just talk to the people that Queen has been part of, that has changed the life of other queens of life, so I think you will find that spark again.
Thanks. I think those were all really great insights. We are almost coming close to the end of the session, but before we leave, one last question on three tips or advice that you would give to someone who's actually in the process of discovering their life purpose, and how they can discover it, and just some small three tips that you can give for them.
Okay. So the first step shortly would be that you are not responsible for everything that is happening around you. You are a very small piece of this universe. Just play your part. Don't try to be something you are not. The second thing will be that the life is very uncertain. The things that you are thinking right now, the things that are worrying you right now, are actually not even going to happen. So just live the present, enjoy the present. The third thing that I want to tell is that people are the most important thing in this world, nothing else. Earn a lot of people, earn a lot of friends.
That's very well said, Vishal. Earn a lot of people is something that really struck in my head as well. And personally, even I'm going to have an endeavor to do what you've suggested. So thanks so much for your time, Vishal. Great insights, and we hope that we can do more sessions like these with you. Sorry a little bit for the delay and the background noise in the beginning, and I think the introduction didn't go very well, but it was a
No,
pleasure having you here.
it was wonderful, Neha. I love to talk to you, and I love all the audience of yours. So you guys are doing very fabulous job. A very good kudos to everyone who has done to help to have this session. Thank you so much, guys. Sarve
Thank
Bhavantu
you.
Sukhina.
Have a good day.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye bye.